Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to this second part of our series. Alright, so let's get into it right now. I added something new to the videos. If you look at my last video, I want to grab your attention to this link that I put under the video really quickly. And you'll, in the description, you're going to see a GitHub account. If you want to follow along with the files that I'm going to be using for this video, so if I use any images or any media, you can just come here and click on this download button and just download this zip file. Every time I make a video, I will update this. Don't worry about GitHub. This is just to download the files that I will be using. So today I'm going to be using 2.0. So go right on down, download those files, and pause the video and come back when you're ready. Alright, awkward pause. Okay, now let's start where we left off last time. So I'm going to open up the folder 2.0 because that's the number of the video I'm doing. So quickly, just to review what we did last time. So if you guys remember, HTML describes the structure of the web page. One thing I want to come into realization is that HTML has a current version. The version is number 5. So HTML5 is just an updated version, just like you update your phone. HTML5 is an updated version. Alright, so quickly, the HTML tag basically tells the browser that anything inside of this tag, it is HTML code. Our head tag, our body is made up of our web page is made up of 2 extra tags. Head tag, the body tag. Head tag, remember, it tells information about your website. This does not display anything like the title, so I can put my title here. Today we're going to be making scrambled eggs. So I'm going to name this. You can name this whatever you want, but you'll see why I'm naming it scrambled eggs. Alright, so our body is the content of the web page. Everything we're displaying to the web page, we're going to put it in our body. And our H1s are heading elements. So here's going to be the biggest one. This is why you'll use this. So I have an H1 called scrambled eggs, and I have an H2 saying learn to make eggs today. Alright, now let's view this inside of our web page now. Here it is. Scrambled eggs, learn to make eggs today. H1 is bigger, the biggest one. H2 after that proceeds, just like the last video. So what are we going to go over today? Today I want to tell you guys about paragraphs, how to make bold and italics, and emphasize. I'll be going some semantic tags, and lastly, links and images. And after this, we are all set on HTML. Then we'll move on to CSS, because that's literally all you need to know. Maybe just one more 2 tags you'll come across, but they're easy to learn. Once you learn a tag, all you do is just put it on the file. Now, enough of me talking, and let's get to making this new web page. All right. So the first tag I want to grab to your attention is the paragraph tag. A paragraph tag, it's basically to create a paragraph in HTML, you just simply wrap the words you want to make in a paragraph within the P tag, just like we've been doing. So each paragraph will actually show up on a different line. So if I say today eggs, well, my grammar is wrong. Today's eggs will be good. So if I save it, view it on the web page, I have my paragraph tag. Now, if I make another P tag, Alex makes good eggs, by default, it comes on a different line. Now, that's how you make paragraph tags. Some extra tags I'm going to show you. You don't have to remember this, but it's just good to know. If you're interested in putting science up or you're working on a science project and you want to put some formulas on the website, there's a subscript and superscript. So to make things superscript, you use the SUP tag. So SUP. So what if you want to say E equals MC squared? This is how you will do it. Whatever that formula means. So I'm gonna actually split screen here so I don't have to go back and forth. And there we go. So I'll refresh and notice how we have E equals MC squared. I think that's the formula for density. But let's continue. Now, what if you want to have a subscript? So subscript, instead of sup, you use sub. So if you want to say CO2, you'll say CO, then you'll wrap that within a CO, and then you'll wrap that within a subscript, and there we'll have CO2. Now I'm gonna delete this. You can keep it in your file for reference, but if anything, you just search it on Google. Hey, how do I make a subscript? And Google will tell you. So, all right, let's refresh this. Now, white spaces in paragraphs. So white spaces in paragraphs, they do not matter. So here we have Alex makes good eggs. If I was to put a bunch of white space in the browser, it will not do anything. So even if I'm gonna do toggle soft wrap, that's so the words don't cut out here, but notice I have this paragraph like all over the place. HTML is gonna ignore that. So HTML is just gonna ignore white space in paragraphs. So if you want to actually separate these, so I'm just gonna put it back to the initial. If you want to separate these, you'll use a BR tag, which means for line break or break. Notice how Alex is now broken. So if I want to break the line after good, I will say BR. And we'll refresh. And now it says Alex makes good eggs. Maybe you want to do poetry and the rhythm. You got to have that rhythm, right? So you want to use that BR tag. Right now you can use it, but we will like to do all our styling through CSS. So we wouldn't really be using this in a professional project. This is just something to know, just in case. If I want to separate content, I can use a horizontal line, which is HR. So there I have a horizontal line. I can separate my content, and I'm actually just gonna put this above the two titles here. See, now it looks like we have some breathing room from the content and from the titles. Now, what if I want to make something? I'm gonna take out these BRs. So what if I want to make something italic or bold? So in this paragraph that I have here, I'm gonna put, I think I ate pizza. So what if I want to make the word pizza bold? I'll wrap it within a strong tag, just like that. Strong. Refresh the page. Now pizza is bold. I'm just gonna have my page here a little bit zoomed in so you guys can see. And to emphasize or italics, you'll wrap it with an M for emphasize, EM. So I'll put think. And the reason you want to use emphasize is it changes the way the reader is reading your content. So here it says I think I ate pizza. I'm not really an English teacher, but I wouldn't know the difference. You see this a lot in some text. So we used to use I for italics. So if I say I and I say hello, and we used to use B for bold, so hello. Notice hello is italics, hello is bold here, but this is outdated. Remember in the beginning of the video I said we're in HTML5. So these tags, if you look them up, this was HTML4, so they're a little bit outdated. The reason was because phones couldn't render these tags on the actual phone browser. So now we use emphasize and strong. So that's semantic markup. So that just gives extra information to the content that you're giving. Just a quick more tags. If you're saying if you're selling some kind of product and you're saying was $199. If I refresh here, you say was $199. So if you want to strike over that, you use S for strike. To this day, I really haven't used this, but that's just one thing to keep in mind. And you can delete. You can use delete, but remember, you have to use the one that makes more sense. I'm not deleting this price. I'm actually just striking over. It does the same thing, but it's semantic. So you have to use which one makes more sense. All right. So now we're going to learn lists. So let's actually make the website that I want to make today. Scrambled eggs, learn to make eggs today. So I'm just going to delete all of this and I'm going to start fresh. So in HTML gives us 3 different ways to make a list, but you only need to know 2 of them. The last one is definition. Don't worry about it. That doesn't matter. I have not used it today. But just to keep in mind, there's 3 lists. So the first one we're going to do is an unordered list. It's like in Google Docs or in Microsoft Word. You have lists. It's the same thing here. Just to specify an unordered list or a bulleted list, you use UL. And notice how that looks. A opening UL tag and a closing UL tag. Now inside the UL, you think I'll just say hello or bye. This is not how this works. Notice the list is not working. This is where we get into list item, which is LI, list item. So whenever you have a list, you have to have the list items. So here, I'm just gonna put an H3 here saying ingredients. Refresh the page. We have ingredients, and now what are the ingredients to make eggs? Obviously, you need eggs. I'll make another li. I'm just gonna. I can't close this. All right, never mind. So eggs, salt, I guess. There's people that like their eggs spicy or with pepper. Notice now on the browser, I just rendered an unordered list. By default, an unordered list is gonna be indented. So you see this is indented from the regular flow of the page. Now, the second list that you will use, so I'm just gonna make an H3 here saying instructions. So the second list will be an OL or an ordered list. So when you have something in order, like recipes or instructions to build a table, you have an order to that. So same thing, unless instead of a UL, you use an OL. So you put that and you put LIs just like the UL and say, I'm gonna be very vague here, but take eggs, crack eggs. Probably the next step is put into pan. And then cook for 5 minutes. This is very vague, but it's just to show you guys. Notice how I have the unordered list of the ingredients, and we have an ordered list of instructions. Crack eggs, put it into the pan, cook for 5 minutes. Now that's how you make lists inside of HTML. Now the good tags and the one that you'll always use are images. So on top of this ingredients, I want to put an image of what we're making. So this is how we go and fetch an image. So I'll go to Google and I will say scrambled eggs. I'm going to put the keyword 500 pixels because I don't want this image to be very big. So go to images right here, and this one's too big. You want to check how big. You see, this one looks good. So I want to open image in a new tab. All right, now I have my image. How do you enter an image into the web page? We'll use the image tag, and you'll say that by img. Now the image tag is self-closing, so you do not need to do this. The reason why is because an image tag has an attribute. So basically an attribute is just extra information about the HTML tag that you are doing. So an image has an attribute of source, src, and this is telling HTML where is the image located. Now this is an absolute link because it's not downloaded onto my web page, it's actually on the web. So here we go. We have this link and it's in blue. So if I refresh my page, notice how I have this nice image of scrambled eggs. That's how we enter an image. Now we want to give credit to Google for this image, right? We don't want to plagiarize or have a copyright notice. So we'll link this to Google Images. So the way you'll link text to go to a different website, you'll use the A tag or anchor. And this also has an attribute named as href, which means hyperlink reference. So where is this link located? So this link was located from Google. So simply put, I'm just going to put http:// google.com. Now, if I go to the page and refresh, nothing pops up because the A does have a closing tag, so we have to put what text we wanted to put here. You can put whatever you want. Notice we have it here. This will take me to google.com, but we have to make sense of what we're linking to. You don't want your users to go to a random web page and they don't know where it's going, so I'll say google.com. And you can do this with any website on the web. We went to google.com. There you go. So this video we learned a lot. Please learn how to do lists and links and link images on yourself. That way you can exercise your HTML skills, and every day that you practice, this will just become cake. This will just become easy. So thank you for tuning into this video, and keep coding. Stay saucy.